Hello everyone. In this session of CCNA series, I will do a dynamic ARP inspection lab. So for this, I have a topology in which I have a router 1710 which is acting as a DHCP server as well, connected to a switch, and we have a client which will receive a IP address from the DHCP server, that is our router, and then we will see the operation whether client is receiving the IP from the DHCP. We will check the DHCP snooping bindings, and then we will add an attacker to do an ARP spoofing. So wherein we will use the IP of the client. So when the attacker is connected to the switch, the switch should respond to the attacker by not allowing the attacker to send any ARP request. So first let me see what IP address has been assigned for the client and change the IP address here. So for that, let me hop onto the client and see. Okay, I have IP address 1.8 assigned via DHCP. Okay, and let me change the IP here. The IP address we have here is .8 now. Okay, so let me try to ping the default gateway from this 192.168.1.1. Okay, the ping is fine. So let's hop onto the switch and see if the DHCP binding is there. If you see here, we have a binding of so and so MAC address with so and so IP on this interface, Ethernet 0/1, that is here. So before we include the attacker, let's go ahead and configure the switch. Let me show you the configuration what I have. I have enable IP DHCP snooping VLAN 1, and then I have enable IP DHCP snooping on the interface towards the server. So the command to enable IP inspection ARP is IP ARP inspection VLAN 1. So this is the command to enable globally, and then you need to go under the interface and enable IP inspection ARP inspection trust under the interface. So let me enable this. So now, let's IP ARP inspection is enabled now. If you see here for VLAN 1, it's enabled and active. So let me go ahead and configure the attacker with the same IP address 192.168.1.8 55.0. Then enable this interface, show IP interface brief. Okay, now when you enable this interface, the switch should react by saying, see, it is denying the ARP request from Ethernet 0/2, that is the interface where the attacker is connected. And if you see the ARP inspection statistics, it says it dropped 2 packets, right? So if you see here, see, it dropped 2 packets. That means our ARP inspection is working. There are some more commands, like for example, I will show you some show commands. Show IP ARP inspection interfaces. If you see here, we have only the interface towards the DHCP server gateway configured as trusted. You can also limit the request you are getting, for example, by configuring this command, interface Ethernet 0/2 IP ARP inspection limit, and then you can configure either no limit, or you can configure 5, for example, and then you can verify this under the interface. It says you can limit it to 5 packet per second. So this is how IP ARP inspection works. There are some commands you can also use. For example, when you detect any attacker, you can limit the time for which the interface has been disabled. For example, there is one command where I can change the, this is a global command that enables the switch to automatically recover from an error disable interface if set to that state because of an ARP inspection violation. So the command is error disable recovery cause ARP inspection. So this is the command. It will automatically recover from error disable state. You can also configure error disable recovery interval seconds. If you want to recover it in 5 seconds, you can configure it. If you want to recover in 30 seconds, you can configure this. So this was a short lab on dynamic ARP inspection. I hope it was informative for you. Thank you for watching.